talk about the digital fence being built around the block. It is 2026, and the Fourth Amendment is feeling paper thin in the city. We're talking about real tech, real deployments, in the gray area where the law stops and the harassment starts. Real talk. The skyline is watching with 1,000 glass eyes. Royal B. Biometric scanners catching every brother that tries to walk to the corner store without a digital trace. Algorithmic bias putting shadows on her face. They using stingray devices to mimic the cell tower, intercepting every signal, stripping us of the power. No warrant in the pocket, just a data-driven hunch. Real talk. Feeding all our movements to the service for lunch. I see the automated plates being read by the vans, tracking every single mile of the hard-working man. Predictive policing based on a broken design, treating every urban zip code like a fault in the line. The high definition zoom from a mile in the air. Royalty. Privacy is dying and it simply isn't fair. They say it's for the safety, but the pressure is a weight, turning every neighborhood into a surveillance state. The cameras are rolling, but the justice is on pause. We looking for the healing in the middle of the loss. A different kind of tension in the air tonight. We just looking for the truth beneath the halogen light. Now they bringing in the guard for the transit and the rail. Subway platforms looking like the entrance to a jail. 600 soldiers in the tunnels with the rifles out. That ain't public safety, that is planting all the doubt. Unconstitutional stops under the guise of a check, putting all the civil liberties right on the deck. They using facial recognition on the elderly and youth, masking all the intimidation as a version of truth. The G-fence warrant circling the entire square. If you stood inside a circle, then your data is bare. Law enforcement units moving like a tactical squad, treating every citizen like they working for a fraud. We talking real time mapping of the social connections, turning every gathering into a list of rejections. The Fourth Amendment says we should be secure in our home, but they tracking every footstep through the silicone dome. The eye in the sky doesn't blink or look away. It's a heavy price to pay for the light of the day. A unique situation where the freedom feels small. We standing in the center with our backs to the wall. They call it smart cities, but the logic is cold. Real talk. Trading off our dignity for the data they hold. Real talk. The military gear on the civilian street is a bitter kind of rhythm for the urban beat. Federal grants pouring in for the thermal in the night, turning every dark alley into a theater of light. Shots by the sensors placed on every single pole, but the Accuracy rate is taking a heavy toll, targeting the community where the pigment is deep. Real talk. While the rest of the country is fast and asleep, we need the oversight boards with a sting and a bite to keep the Constitution in the middle of the fight, and then the qualified immunity for the tech and the man. That is the only way we truly execute the plan. Data privacy acts that are written in stone, so a man can walk the street and feel like he's alone. Transparency in the code and the way that AI thinks, breaking every one of these digital links. The struggle for the soul of the city is a mission, to live without the weight of a constant suspicion. The signal is strong, but the message is clear. We won't let the future be a kingdom of fear. A different kind of victory when the rights are restored, and the voice of the people is the sharpest sword. Yeah. We see the drones, we see the deployments, but awareness is the first step to resistance. Know your rights, record the interactions, and stay unified. They can monitor the movement, but they can't monitor the heart. So majestic, royalty, real talk. They see me living lavish. They see me living lavish, thinking I'm a madman. I'm stacking my bread, moving with a different plan. I'm talking about generational wealth, no quick scam. From the bottom of the pit to the top of the land. Woke up this morning, ain't no need to rush a thing. I'm sitting on the throne, I'm the motherfucking king. They try to count my paper, but the numbers don't lie, cause I'm on a different level. I'm aiming for the sky. Sleep on the floor, now I'm sleeping on silk. From a cup of powder to a gallon of fresh milk. My hunger like the streets, I'm always wanting more. But now I'm building up an empire, a fortress of stone. They see me living lavish, thinking I'm a madman. Stacking my bread, moving with a different plan. For real. I'm talking about generational wealth, no quick scams. From the bottom of the pit to the top of the land. Yeah, they wanna know my secret, they wanna know the recipe, but I keep my mouth shut, cause they ain't for me. I've been a target since I first started to see the light, so I stay on my toes. I'm ready for the fight. Let's go. I'm hustling in the morning, I'm hustling at night, all night till the sun goes down, till the moon is bright. I walk with a purpose, with a mission in my eyes, and if you ain't with me, then I gotta say my goodbyes. Peace out. They see me living lavish, thinking I'm a madman. Stacking my bread, moving with a different plan. For real. talking about generational wealth. No quick scam, no scam. From the bottom of the pit to the top of the land. Yeah. You hear me? Different breed, different kind. Ain't no turning back, nah. Only forward and up, yeah. We all know the way to the pavement. It's 2026, and the pressure hasn't let up. But there's a blueprint in the struggle. Let's talk about how we rise when the flow feels like it's falling out. Real talk. I see the boy, the windows in the rent checks rising high. 60% of us facing heat under a digital sky. The workforce is informal, 70% off the books. Hard to keep a steady rhythm when the system gives us looks. But the solution ain't a secret, it's written in the grain. Communities forming labs to break the cycle of the pain. We talking fiscal autonomy, cities taking back the lead. Building small shelters for the families in a time of need. Zoning laws shifting, making room for us to build. Non-profits stepping in until the empty lots are filled. I'm seeing neighbors acting as the justice on their block. Legal advocacy moving like a key inside a lock. We don't wait for permission when the hunger starts to grow. We plant the seeds in community gardens and we watch them show. The struggle is a teacher if you listen to the tone, turning every heavy burden into a foundation stone. It's a climb through the valley where the shadows try to stay, but we find a new direction every single blessed day. The facts are on the table, but the heart is in the lead. We planting all the answers like a universal seed. They say migration patterns moving toward the open space, but the urban heart is beating at a concentrated pace. I'm seeing 35 million for the financial resilience. Non-profits getting grants to showcase all the local brilliance. We building credit scores from the emergency fund lines, protecting elders from the fraud and all the digital designs. It's about the energy, autonomy, the power in the grid, doing for ourselves exactly what the ancestor did. Sponge cities absorbing all the rain from the storm. Inclusive planning, making sure the cold nights stay warm. Cutting down the bills, every dollar saved is earned. Taking all the hard lessons that the neighborhood has learned. From the basement to the rooftop, the vision is a crack. Navigating through the water on a self-constructed raft. The data shows the gap, but the spirit shows the bridge. Climbing up the mountain from the valley to the ridge. The rhythm of the concrete can be heavy on the chest, but we building up a sanctuary where the soul can rest. Different than the last time because the wisdom has arrived. We ain't just existing, baby, we have truly thrived. They call it a policy choice. The way the poverty stays. Real talk. Real talk. But we choosing a new narrative to light up the maze. So majestic. Direct cash. Meeting needs. Dignity and the trust. Turning all the out in the streets, we making sure the algorithm matches up with heartbeats. Participatory planning where the citizen has a voice. 2026 is the year we making the choice to audit every system, to investigate the gate, to prove that our potential isn't dictated by fate. I see the underground schools and the greenery on the wall, the resilient urban network that refuse to let us fall. We lick social targets to the people in the chair, demanding transparency and making sure the deal is fair. The struggle is the soil where the strongest people grow, and the solution is the unity that we finally show. 100 cities deep, reducing poverty by plan, bringing back the future like only a community can. The weight is still there, but we learn how to live, turning every single obstacle into a major gift. The sun is coming up over the skyline of the mind, leaving all the limitations and the worries far behind. The unique brand of victory, a different kind of grace, seeing all the beauty in a weathered urban face. Yeah, it's about that resilience. When they say the budgets are tight, we tighten the bonds. When they say the housing is short, we lengthen the vision. From the 813 to the whole world, we moving with purpose now. So majestic. Listen closely. The truth doesn't need a crown to be recognized, but it deserves one. They thought they could bury the legend under the noise. Real talk. But the numbers always speak, and royalty always hears the whisper. So majestic, so majestic. Yeah, they had the world in the chokehold, screens flashing red and gray. Boss, every breath was a statistic, every loss a payday. Check the CARES Act, 20% bump for the code. So majestic, listed as the cause, let the federal silver flow. If you fell off a ladder or your heart just gave its lag, they didn't care. They slapped the label on you, moving way too fast. Real talk. Billions in the funeral funds, billions for the state, but the truth is in the audit where the records drift away. Look at the files, unsupported millions, missing reports in the drawer. Why they kept the city quiet and the people wanting more? They say it was for safety, but the math don't add up right. It never did, just a massive transfer moving in the middle of the night. It was a setup from the jump, a calculated play, boss. Watching how they pull the strings and lead the world astray. So majestic. The money and the labels, the incentive and the lie. Hard to see the truth through a lens that's amplified. Real talk, yeah, they checking all the boxes while we're paying all the dues. Just another headline in the cycle of the news. Now let's talk about Atlanta, where the story hit the wall. A shooting at the building, watched the net fall. They gave the name and the face, but they skipped the resume. Hidden in the depths of what the anchors had to say. I went and did the digging, found the profile on the screen. Real talk, wasn't just a staffer, she was running the machine. In charge of the status, the one who holds the key. She had the bar, the locks are turning and the people can be free. The CDC connection was a break at the start. Then they changed the title, tried to tear the truth apart. Tried to hide her. So majestic, downgraded her importance like we wouldn't see the shift. But the internet remembers every detail in the drift. Real talk, it was a setup from the jump. The calculated play, boss. Watching how they pull the strings and lead the world astray. So majestic, the money and the labels, the incentive and the lie. Hard to see the truth through a lens that's amplified. Real talk, yeah, they checking all the boxes while we're paying all the dues. Just another headline in the cycle of the news. If the source of the lockdown is the target of the heat, and the news starts rewriting every word upon the sheet. So majestic, you gotta ask why the cover is moving at this pace. What are they hiding? Why they scrubbing out the status in the history of the case? Real talk. Hillsborough to Atlanta, the data stays the same. Protecting the agenda while they're shifting all the blame. They call it a conspiracy until the audit's done and it's a fact. Then they're looking for the exits, one by one. She wasn't the main target, let that sink into your mind. A person with the power that kept the nation confined. They told her she was mine, just a worker on the floor. But the LinkedIn had the receipts, we don't need to ask no more. So majestic, the biggest scam ever, played out on the stage, written in the prophets of a dark and heavy age. Set up from the jump, calculated play. Real talk, watching how they pull the strings and lead the world astray. So majestic, the money and the labels, the incentive and the lie. Hard to see the truth through a lens that's amplified. Boss, yeah, they checking all the boxes while we're paying all the dues. Just another headline in the cycle of the news. A royal eye sees through the fall. The records get lost, but the intent stays clear. So majestic, check the credentials they tried to erase. The truth is sovereign. It's all right there. Real talk, boss. Always. Yeah. Why you hanging with your girls at the club tonight? around, trying to find what they lack. But you got a man, girl, so why you looking back? Yo, girl, what's the deal? What's the play tonight? You rolling with your girls, but I'm feeling tight. You got a man at home, so why you out there? Clubs full of singles, don't you even care? Got my heart on my sleeve, can't you see the signs? Why you sipping on drinks? I'm thinking about the times when it was just us. Now you chasing the scene. What's the vibe at the club? Is it living the dream? Yeah. Why you hanging with your girls at the club tonight? When we built something real, it just don't feel right. Single folks around, single folks around, trying to find what they lack. But you got a man, girl, so why you looking back? I know you love the lights, the music in the crowd, but I'm here at home, feeling lost in the loud. You out there dancing, what's the reason you wrong? While I'm waiting up late just to bring you back home. I ain't trying to control, but you know what I see. These late night escapades ain't good for you and me. Temptation's a beast, and I'm fighting the urge to trust you out there. Man, it's making me surge. Why you hanging with your girls at the club tonight? When we built something real, it just don't feel right. Single folks around, single folks around, trying to find what they lack. But you got a man, girl, so why you looking back? So tell me, baby, what's the game that you play? 'Cause when you're out with them, I'm feeling so betrayed. We got a bond, girl, don't let it fade away. Let's keep it real tight in love. Let's stay. People spend their whole lives looking at the mirror, trying to fix what they see on the outside. Deep breath. But the real work is happening in the places you can't touch. You gotta align the internal before the external can ever shine. Royal D. I'm sitting in the silence of a Sunday afternoon, peaceful, watching how the darkness leaves the corners of the room. The world is chasing status in the flicker of a name, but I'm looking for the fire that doesn't need a flame. They talk about the hustle like it's only in the hands. Movements for chorus, the captain of the way a person stands. So majestic, I'm a street poet, reading all the secrets in the air, finding all the answers in the moment of a prayer. Connection, you can build a palace out of marble and stone, but a king's still a pauper if he's hollow in the bone. Royal big by appearance, but I'm heavy in the soul, taking all the broken parts and making them whole. Straight up, the workplace is a memory that I'm leaving far behind. Done with it, focused on the frequency that's moving in the mind. Vibrating different kind of riches that a person's gonna find. When they leave the vanity and nonsense all behind. So majestic, the vision is a mountain talk. I'm putting all the ego and no worry to the rest. Royal D, you can have the glitter and the temporary shine. Fade. I'm busy looking inward at the power that is mine. I walk along the river where the water's moving slow, calm. Learning how to let the heavy burdens finally go. The car is in the driveway, it's a shiny piece of glass, but I'm looking at the beauty that is destined not to pass. Geometry in nature is a language of its own. Real talk, written in the patterns of the seeds that have been sown. Grown with power, head swinging for the logic and the truth. I've been studying the mystery since the days of early youth. You think I'm disconnected or I'm falling off the pace, but I'm running in a much more different kind of race, where the prize is in the trophy or a ribbon for the chest. It's the peace of mind that comes when you finally at rest with the person in the mirror and the truth in the dark. I'm finding all the magic in the inner little spark. That can light up a city or a gritty urban block without ever looking at the ticking of the clock. Yeah, the silence is a teacher and the lesson is the self. Royal digging all the wisdom from the bottom of the shelf. Real talk, keep the flashy labels and the vanity and pride, and stay focused on the legacy that's growing deep inside. So majestic. Growth isn't always about adding things on. Sometimes it's about stripping away everything that isn't you. Peel it back until only the truth is left standing. So let them keep the drama in the static of the streets. That keeping all the energy up in the next streets. I'm a basic kind of brother with a high concept mind, educating all the petty and the jealous far behind. Real talk, the numeric sequence is a map for the soul. The rest leading me to victory and reaching for the gold of a life that is balanced in a life that is free, open. Finally, the person that I'm intending now to be. No more seeking validation from a person in a suit. No thanks. I'm busy in the garden, just protecting every root. The street poet speaking, let the words hit the flow. Listen, I'm unlocking the lock and I'm opening the door to a brand new perspective and a brand new way of life. Fresh, cutting through the static and the heavy urban strife. Clean, royal B is solid. I'm a mountain in the midst of shaking, checking off the items on the sacred little list. The sun is coming up and the vision's looking clear. Real talk, I'm letting go of vanity and letting go of fear. The world is looking outward while I'm looking in the big search. I'm waking up the promises that I'm intended not to keep. It's a quiet kind of power. You don't have to shout to be heard when your frequency is right. So majestic. Stay basic. Stay grounded. Stay royal. So majestic. Stay in tune. Yeah. Royal D. Yeah. firing well. Another brother falling, shadow playing on the dusty trail. Crumbling pillars of a promise built on blood and stolen gold. Narrative hijacked, young mind shackled, stories never told. I see the ghost of progress, wringing hands in silent plea, while corporate prophets whisper scripture, blinding eyes to see the true cost of convenience, the price of pacified despair. A nation's soul in escrow, breathing poison, stagnant air. My grandma's eyes, they hold the history etched in every crease of silent battles fought for freedom, searching for a piece of dignity unclaimed, a birth, the right stolen in the night. Now echoing these verses, igniting sparks of rebel light. From the broken glass of yesterday, a phoenix starts to rise through the systemic labyrinth, where truth and justice die. But the rhythm of the struggle, it beats within my chest, a testament to resilience, putting empires to the test. This ain't just a lament, it's a blueprint for the free, a jazz-infused rebellion for all the world to see. Yeah, for all the world to see. Digital Goliath whispers sweet nothings in your ear, while algorithms sculpt your thinking, drowning out all fear. Was truly going down beyond the filter curated feed. They hand you curated comfort, sowing division's toxic seed. I watched a child's innocence dissolve on cornerstone and curb his future mapped by zip code. His aspirations undisturbed by any chance of upward mobility, just a constant downward pull. Another statistic manufactured, another life they denug. But somewhere in the silence, a murmur starts to grow from forgotten corners of the concrete where dormant rivers flow. A network of resistance, hand in hand beyond the gate, reclaiming narratives, rewriting chapters, sealing freedom's fate. The broken glass of yesterday, a phoenix starts to rise through the systemic labyrinth, where truth and justice die. But the rhythm of the struggle, it beats within my chest, a testament to resilience, putting empires to the test. This ain't just a lament, it's a blueprint for the free, a jazz-infused rebellion for all the world. The weight of generations on these shoulders, I embrace to break the chains of ignorance and find a sacred space where self-reflection mirrors truth, no longer clouded by the haze of manufactured loyalties, lost in consumerist maze. My personal accountability to speak beyond the mic, to elevate the voices with every lyrical strike. This ain't just entertainment, it's a call to arms, a plea for collective consciousness, for true community. They can build their walls of profit and preach their hollow creed, but the soul of liberation plants a deeply rooted seed in the jazz-infused rhythm. It echoes through the streets, a symphony of defiance, where liberation meets. Liberation meets. Yeah. They design the maze and then wonder why we're running. It's about the fine print, the clauses, and the hidden traps. I'm talking about navigating the red tape without getting tied up. Learning the language of the courtroom and the boardroom. Yeah. So majestic. Yeah. Trying to find the leverage before it's far too late. They wanna see your father as a statistic on the page, but I'm a king in the making, outgrowing every cage. I'm paying for the counsel, every hour is a cost, but the price of my absence is a battle already lost. I'm keeping every record, every receipt in the file, walking through the fire with a confident smile. So majestic. I'm building up the wealth for the blood in my veins. Yeah, taking all the power and breaking all the chains. It's a generational shift, a legacy defined. So majestic. Leaving something solid for the ones I leave behind. Yeah, from the struggle to the summit, we're rising as a crew, doing everything I promised that I'd eventually do. So majestic. The urban landscape is a battlefield of laws. Looking for the loopholes and the systemic flaws. They expect us to be loud, they expect us to be blind, but they never expected the sharpness of the mind. I'm teaching my community to document the truth, to preserve the future for the beauty of the youth. We're shifting from the reactive to the proactive phase, finding our own exits out of the institutional maze. Real talk, I'm building up the wealth for the blood in my veins. Taking all the power and breaking all the chains. It's a generational shift, a legacy defined. So leaving something solid for the ones I leave behind. From the struggle to the summit, we're rising as a crew, doing everything I promised that I'd eventually do. So majestic. From the housing office to the child support light, I'm making sure the paperwork is standing up right. No more falling for the tricks or the bait on the hook. I'm writing my own chapter in the history book. Knowledge is the currency that they can never seize. The power in the wind and the roots in the trees. I built the legacy by learning how the system plays and showing my people how to thrive in these days. So majestic. I'm building up the wealth for the blood in my veins. Taking all the power and breaking all the chains. It's a generational shift, a legacy defined. So majestic. Leaving something solid for the ones I leave behind. From the struggle to the summit, we're rising as a crew, doing everything I promised that I'd eventually do. So majestic. The pen is mightier than the sword when you know how to use it. Don't let them catch you slipping on the details. Educate yourself on the rules so you can play the game better than them. For the legacy, for the bloodline, I built a legacy. So majestic. Real talk. People think because you aren't shouting, you aren't winning. Real talk. They mistake the stillness for a lack of motion. So majestic. But some of the biggest moves happen when the room is completely dark. I'm building in the quiet royal D. I'm checking out the blueprints on the wooden kitchen chair. Thinking about the future while I'm breathing in the air. They expect a certain pattern, they expect a certain sound, but I'm digging out the trenches in the middle of the ground. I don't talk about the strategy or let the secrets leak. I'd rather let the finished product be the one to speak. The workplace is a theater with the actors famous on the stage, but I'm the one who's quietly just turning every page. They're measuring the success by the noise and by the hype, but I'm a different breed, a more calculated type. I'm stacking up the knowledge like a library of gold, preparing for the winter in the biting bitter cold. Sabotage is useless when the target isn't seen. I'm moving like a phantom in the middle of the machine. No announcements on the social, no pictures of the plan. I'm just doing all the work of a dedicated man. Real talk.
The victory is sweeter when it's coming from the shade.
So majestic,
so majestic. I'm focused on the quality of everything that's made.
Royal D.
You can have the audience, and all the loud applause. I'm working for the purpose,
and I'm working
for the cause.
I see the envy gathering like clouds before a storm, but I'm keeping all my intentions extra hidden and extra warm. They wanna see the progress just to find a way to break it, but they can't touch a vision if they don't know how I make it. I'm early to the office and I'm late to leave the desk, treating every challenge like a mandatory test. All my economics are private, my investments are secure. I'm making sure the foundation is steady and it's pure. I don't need the validation from a person in a suit. I'm busy in the dirt, just protecting every root. Flashy riders parked while I'm walking through the rain, turning all the pressure into a different kind of game. They think I'm disconnected or I've fallen off the map, but I'm just navigating through the middle of the trap. Content with the basic content with the plane. I'm washing all the vanity right down the city drain. So majestic.
The realest power is the kind that doesn't need a name.
Royal D.
I'm exiting the circle and I'm exiting the game. You can have the spotlight in the center of the floor. I'm finding what I need behind a quiet closet door.
So majestic. Anonymity is a luxury they can't afford. Real talk. But when you don't need the attention, you own the whole board.
So majestic.
The strongest steel is forged in a silent flame. Royal D. So let them keep on guessing while I'm moving through the day. I got 1,000 things that I'm never gonna say. The street poet is watching from a distance and a height, keeping all the goals and the dreams within the sight. I'm building up the family, I'm building up the block, without a single glance at the ticking of the clock. The sabotage is failing cause there's nothing to attack. I'm moving in the forward, never looking at the back. A basic kind of brother with a complicated mind, leaving all the noise and the nonsense far behind. The crown is in the spirit, not a thing that you can touch. I'm thankful for the little and I'm ready for the much. Royalty is solid like a mountain in the mist. I'm checking off the items on a private little list. So keep the loud opinions and the flashy way of life. I'm cutting through the static like a sharp and heavy knife. Real talk.
The world is looking out while I'm looking in the deep.
So majestic.
Planting all the promises that I'm intending now to keep.
Royal D.
I don't need the glory or the flash of every eye.
I'm finding all my reasons in the quiet morning sky. Real talk. Stealth is the new status symbol.
So
while they're busy announcing, I'm busy accomplishing.
so majestic.
You don't need a loud voice to have a loud impact. Stay focused. Stay invisible. Royal D. Life is a collection of moments People spend so much time chasing the next big thing that they forget to appreciate the breath they just took.
So majestic.
I'm sitting on the porch, watching the world rush by, and I'm perfectly fine right here. Royal D. I see the neighbors rushing out at 7 every day, trading all their hours just to get a little pay. They're stressed about the deadlines and the status of the name, but I'm sitting in the quiet, I ain't jumping in the game. A simple cup of coffee in the morning, summer air's worth more than $1 million in the fancy swivel chair. I'm looking at the trees and I'm looking at the sky, counting all the blessings as the minutes wander by. So the workplace is a furnace trying to melt the human soul, but I'm staying extra cool while I'm reaching for the goal. I'm finding inner peace in the world that's extra loud. I'm perfectly content being hidden in the crowd. I don't need a headline or a trophy on the shelf. I'm finding all the victory and mastering myself. The simple things are heavy when you weigh them in the heart. I'm finishing the journey before I even start. Real talk.
Silence is a melody that most people ignore.
So majestic,
so majestic. But I'm finding all the rhythm on the wooden kitchen floor.
Royal D.
You can add a hustle and a worry and a strive. I'm busy falling in love
with a simple human life. Yeah, I remember when I thought I needed everything in sight. Chasing after shadows in the middle of the night. With the more I gathered up, the less I really had. A closet full of nothing made the inner person sad. So I stripped away the layers and I put them in a pile, and I traded all the glitter for a genuine little smile. Now I'm walking through the market with $1 and a dream, and things are finally starting to be exactly what they say. My conversation with a friend on the dusty city bench is the only kind of thirst that a person cannot quench with a bottle of the bubbly or a fancy piece of glass. I'm looking for the beauty that is destined not to pass. The kids are playing tag and the sun is going down. I'm the richest person living in this gritty urban town, because I know the secret that the greedy never learn, that the fire only hurts when you're waiting for the burn.
So majestic. Sunset is a painting that I didn't have to buy.
Royal D.
I'm finding all the answers in the middle of a sigh.
Yeah.
Keep the heavy diamonds and the heavy golden chain. I'm finding all the treasure
in the middle of the rain. So majestic. They call it settling when you stop the frantic race. Real talk. But I call it arriving when you finally find your place.
So majestic.
Contentment is the ultimate flex. So I'm keeping it authentic in the world of manufacture, mending all the spirits that the industry has fractured. I'm a street poet standing on a solid piece of ground, finding all the wisdom in the silence and the sound of a baby's little laugh or a neighbor's friendly wave. I'm taking all these memories with me to the grave. Economic sabotage can touch a soul that's free, because I don't own the things are owning me. I'm a basic kind of king with a basic kind of throne. I'm never really lonely when I'm sitting all alone. The car is in the driveway and the engine's turning cold. I'm telling you a story that has never been sold. It's about the peace of mind and the power of the no, to the things that try to tell you where a person ought to go. I'm staying right here in the middle of the grace, with a simple kind of look on a simple human face. Real talk.
The world is spinning fast, but I'm moving extra slow.
So majestic.
Watching all the flowers in the garden start to grow.
Royal D.
I don't need the spotlight or the flash of every light.
I'm perfectly okay in the middle of the night. Yeah. Peace is the new currency.
So majestic.
You can keep the stress and the status. I'll take the quiet and the clarity. Royal D, street poet, still grounded, still bass, still king. Yeah, stay peaceful. Yeah. Real talk. People see the paint job and think they know the man, but the exterior don't always match the interior.
So majestic.
I'm keeping it simple, keeping it plain. I'm not here for the costumes. Royal D. I'm walking in the building with the basic cotton tee. Yeah, no designer labels hanging off the side of me. Boss, I don't need a chain to let them know I got the weight. I'd rather put that money in a piece of real estate. Roy, the sneakers are for comfort, they ain't for the hidden flex. I'm focused on the legacy and what is coming next. You're looking at the fabric, I'm looking at the soul. You're playing for the cameras, I'm playing for the gold. I see the brothers dripping in $1,000 fit while they're worrying about the rent and how to cover it. I'm staying extra humble, I'm staying in my lane. A simple pair of denim for the sunshine and the rain. I don't need the glitter just to feel like I'm a king. I'm finding all my value in the message that I bring. Boss, you can have the runway, I take the open road. I'm traveling real light, I don't need the heavy load.
The man inside the clothes is the only one who stays.
So majestic.
I'm giving up the flash for the better, brighter days.
Royal D.
You're looking at the surface, trying to find a little shine, but I'm looking at the peace that is living in my mind.
Yeah, now let's talk about the ride, sitting out there in the lot. It's got the chrome spinning, but it's really all I got. It's flashy to the eye, yeah, it's looking extra clean, but I don't even cherish the metal or the machine. It's just a way to get from point A to the point B, a shiny little box that is carrying to me. So if it broke down tonight, I wouldn't even shed a tear. I've outgrown the ego when I've outgrown the fear. Or what the neighbors think when I'm rolling down the block. I'm listening to the spirit, I ain't listening to the talk. They see the Eddie Bauer and they think I'm feeling proud, but I'm just trying to move without attracting any crowd. The leather seats are nice, but the pavement's still the same. I'm playing for the life, I ain't playing for the fame. It's iron and it's rubber, it's plastic and it's glass, just another earthly thing that is destined out of past.
So majestic, the vehicle for the one who's in the sea.
Royal D.
I'm keeping it authentic while I'm moving through the street. The flesh is for the ones who are looking for the light. I'm carrying the sun, even in the middle of the night. So majestic.
Character isn't something you can buy off a rack. Real talk. And pride isn't something you can park in the garage.
So majestic.
I'm just a man plain, simple, solid. Royal D. So keep your velvet suits and your rings of heavy gold. I'm sticking to the truth that is never getting old. I'm basic by design because I'm focused on the deep. I'm working while the ones who are flashy are asleep. I'd rather have a garden in the closet full of silk, providing for the family and the honey and the milk. The workplace sees me coming in a pair of rugged boots. I'm watering the branches while I'm tending to the roots. The car's just a tool, a little mechanical disguise to keep the envy hidden from the jealous human eyes. I don't cherish the metal, I cherish every breath. I'm building up a life that is stronger than the death. Royalty is grounded, I'm rooted in the dirt. A simple man of honor in a simple cotton shirt. The flash is for the weak who are trying to be seen. I'm peaceful and I'm quiet.
as you ride. I'm just thankful for the feet that carry me to victory in every single street. Yeah. I'm a t-shirt and jeans type of king. So majestic. If you're looking for the glitter, you're at the wrong house. But if you're looking for the substance, you're right where you need to be. So majestic. Peace to the ones keeping it basic. Royalty. Look, I don't know whose toes I stepped on to make them this active. Royalty. It feels like there's a ghost in the machine. Someone pulling strings just to see the kite fall. Real talk. But you can't sabotage a foundation built on this much grit. Check the ledger, I'm still standing. So majestic. So majestic. I wake up to a new hurdle every single morning now. They're messing with the commas, trying to slow the earning down. I see the fingerprints on the files in the office space. Someone's playing games, trying to put me in a lower place. But my vision's clear, I see the traps before they even set. Every closed door is just a move I haven't mastered yet. They want the bank account empty and the spirit broken low, but I'm a street poet. I find the seeds and make them grow. Workplace politics feeling like a battlefield today. Cold workers whispering while they try to take my light away. It's economic warfare, they're aiming at my family's plate. But I've been hungry before, you're about 20 years too late. Royalty. Go ahead and delete the files, try to stain my reputation. I'm the architect of my own path, I built the whole foundation. One door closes, I'll just build a hallway to the next. I'm a king in this concrete jungle, read the hidden text. Real talk. You can't block the sky or tell the sun it isn't allowed to rise. So much I see the sabotage coming. I see the envy in your eyes. Royalty. Like the promotion, try to freeze every single dime I make. But you can't stop a river, no matter how many dams you break. Yeah, they calling meetings behind my back, trying to cut the cord, but I brought my own power, I don't need to join the board. Financial freedom is a mindset, not just what's in the vault. If the engine stalls out, I know it wasn't my own fault. It's a systematic squeeze trying to drain the life from the plan, but they forget I'm the type of person who can stand as a man. I've seen the emails, I felt the cold shoulder in the hall. You're praying for the winter just to see the leaves all fall. But I'm evergreen, I'm rooted deep within the struggle soil. You can turn the heat up, I'm just waiting for the water to boil. Sabotage is a weak man's weapon, the coward's little tool. While you're playing checkers, I'm rewriting every single rule. My economics are maternal, my values in the soul. You can't take the credit when I'm the one who reached the goal. Try to hold me down, put a ceiling on my highest dreams, but I'm breaking through the drywall and the heavy wooden beams. Real talk. Sabotage is loud, but my silence is a lot more powerful. You're trying to stop the garden while I'm making sure it's flowerful. Put the paycheck, try to mess with how the business flows. But the more you try to bury me, the more the legacy grows. Yeah. Funny how they hate to see a person find their own way. Real talk. They'd rather see you begging for a crumb than baking the whole cake. So majestic. But you can't sabotage destiny. It's written in the ink. You can't erase. I'm looking at the landscape, seeing where the minds are laid. I'm stepping over traps that the jealous
tireless hands have carefully made. Workplace sabotage, you're trying to make the data lie, but the truth is a bird that was always meant to learn to fly. You want me stressed out, looking for a way to pay the rent, but I'm invested in myself. Every single hour spent, economic warfare won't stop the heart that's beating true. I'm 1,000 steps ahead, I'm already past a few of you. So keep the petty games, keep the whispers in the fake reports. I'm building empires while you're stuck playing in the lower courts. There's no way to hold me down, I'm gravity's biggest foe. I'm ascending to the top while you stay watching from below. Financial freedom is a journey, not a destination point, and I'm the one who's designated to lead into unknown.
So majestic.
The sabotage failed, the mission's still on the right track. I'm moving forward now when I'm never ever looking back.
The weights are on my ankles, but I'm walking on the water now. You try to break a crown, but it's sitting on my forehead now. So majestic.
The workplace is a stage,
and I'm the one who wrote the play.
you can try to block the path, but I'm gonna find a better way.
Royalty.
Yeah. You thought a little professional jealousy of some rigged numbers would stop the vision.
So majestic.
Royal D is built different. You can't sabotage what you didn't create. I'm still here. Still right, yeah. It's about being honest with the starting line. I spent years paying for a roof I didn't own, watching the equity go into someone else's pocket. But that was just the classroom. Now I'm taking those lessons and building a foundation that belongs to my bloodline. So majestic. I'm looking at the lease with a heavy focused stare, knowing every payment is a breath of borrowed air. I grew up in the groves where the oranges used to be, but the land belonged to them and never belonged to me. I'm tired of the rules and the limitations set by a man in the office who ain't seen my hustle yet. I'm saving every fragment, I'm cutting every cost to make up for the generations and the time that we lost.
So majestic. I'm moving from the riddle to the title in the hand.
Yeah.
Taking back the power and reclaiming all the land.
Royal D. It's a shift in the status, a legacy in flight.
So majestic.
Turning all the struggle into something shining bright.
Yeah.
From the borrowed keys to the ownership gate. Royal D.
I'm changing up the rhythm,
And I'm changing up the face. So majestic. I tell my daughter that this hallway is just a bridge to the house on the hill with the garden and the ridge. I tell my son that his father had to grind in the dark just to leave a permanent, undeniable mark. We're moving past the tenant and the occupant name to the landlord status in this generational game. I'm teaching them the value of the dirt and the stone, so they never have to ask for a place to call their own. Just taught me how to survive on the crumb, but I'm looking for the loaf in the kingdom to come. No more letters in the mail about the rent going high. I'm aiming for the portion of the earth in the sky. The transition is painful, the transition is slow, but it's the only way for a family to truly grow. I'm signing for the future, I'm signing for the peace, and finding my salvation in the end of the lease.
so majestic. I'm moving from the rental to the title in the hand.
Yeah.
Taking back the power and reclaiming all the land.
Royal D. It's a shift in the status, a legacy in flight.
So majestic.
Turning all the struggle into something shining bright. ownership gate. Royal D.
I'm changing up the rhythm,
and I'm changing up the face.
so majestic.
Yeah. It's a process. From the apartment to the acres. Billsville. Roots. With a worldwide vision. I'm doing this for the ones who carry my DNA. The transition is real.